For decades, Payless was the go-to for affordable shoes in America. It was more than just a store. It was a destination for families, students, and anyone looking to stretch their dollar a little further. In a world where fashion and function often came at a steep price, Payless offered a refreshing alternative, making it possible for people from all walks of life to find shoes that fit both their needs and their budgets. Its bright orange logo was a beacon in malls and strip centers, promising value for families on a budget. The sight of that cheerful sign meant hope for parents and excitement for kids, knowing they could walk in and walk out with something new without breaking the bank. Rows of shoes in simple boxes, no frills, just function, made shopping easy and accessible. The orange boxes stacked neatly on shelves became a familiar sight, a symbol of practicality and smart spending. There was no intimidation, no pressure to buy the latest trend, just the freedom to choose what worked for you. Payless democratized footwear, letting anyone enjoy the feeling of new shoes without financial strain. It didn't matter if you were shopping for a growing child, a new job, or a special event. Payless made sure you could do it with dignity and pride. Parents could outfit their kids for every season, and young adults found work shoes that fit their first paychecks. For many, Payless was the place where they bought their first pair of sneakers, dress shoes, or boots. Milestones marked by affordability and accessibility. The store's unpretentious atmosphere, bright lights, wide aisles, and no pressure made everyone feel welcome. There was a sense of community in the air, as neighbors and friends browsed side by side, sharing tips and stories about their favorite finds. It was a retail model built for the masses, and for a long time it worked beautifully. Sales events would draw crowds, and the excitement of finding a great deal was something everyone could share. Payless became a place where memories were made, from back-to-school shopping trips to last-minute holiday purchases. Payless became as dependable as the local supermarket, a constant in a world of changing trends. No matter how styles shifted or the economy fluctuated, you could count on Payless to be there, offering the same promise of value and reliability. When times were tough, or a special occasion called, Payless was there. It was the store families turned to when budgets were tight, and the place people visited for those moments that mattered, first dances, job interviews, or simply a fresh start. This deep connection with customers made its decline all the more shocking. The sight of shuttered stores and liquidation signs was a blow to communities that had come to rely on Payless, not just for shoes, but for a sense of stability and belonging. The story of Payless isn't just about cheap shoes, it's about a brand that understood the American family and delivered exactly what they needed. It was about trust, about knowing you could walk in with a little and walk out with a lot. The simple orange box became a symbol of reliability. It represented more than just footwear. It stood for opportunity, for inclusion, and for the belief that everyone deserves something new now and then. For millions, Payless was more than a store. It was a partner in everyday life. It was woven into the fabric of neighborhoods, a place where people felt seen and valued, no matter their background or income. Its fall left a void in communities across the country. The absence of Payless is felt not just in empty storefronts, but in the loss of a gathering place, a resource, and a symbol of hope for so many. The promise of Payless was simple: everyone deserves a decent pair of shoes. And for generations, that promise was kept, one orange box at a time. Payless began in 1956 in the heart of Topeka, Kansas, when two cousins, Louis and Shaul Pozes, decided to take a bold leap into the world of retail. At the time, Topeka was a typical American town, but the Pozes cousins saw an opportunity to do something truly different, something that would change the way people bought shoes forever. Back then, shoe shopping was a slow, formal, and often expensive process. Customers would sit and wait as salespeople measured their feet, fetched boxes from the back, and hovered nearby as you tried on each pair. Prices were high, and the experience was anything but convenient for the average family. The Pozes cousins, both practical and forward-thinking, saw a chance to change everything with a radical idea. What if shoe shopping could be as easy as picking out groceries? What if customers could help themselves, skip the wait, and pay less? Their vision was simple but revolutionary. Customers could walk in, browse the shelves at their own pace, find their size, and try on shoes right there in the aisle. No need to wait for a salesperson or feel pressured to buy. By eliminating the need for a large sales staff, Payless dramatically cut labor costs. This allowed them to pass those savings directly to shoppers, making quality footwear affordable for families who needed to stretch every dollar. The first Payless store was nothing like the fancy shoe salons of the era. It was a no-frills, warehouse-style space with shoes stacked in boxes on plain shelves, each size clearly marked for easy access. The focus was on efficiency and value, not luxury. This approach was the complete opposite of what most shoppers were used to, and it caught on fast. Word spread quickly about the new store where you could get good shoes for less, without the hassle. Shoppers loved the freedom to browse and try on shoes at their own pace in a relaxed, low-pressure environment. For many, it was the first time shoe shopping felt easy and even fun. The Posez cousins understood their audience perfectly. They knew that for most people, practicality and savings mattered far more than fancy service or plush surroundings. Their model was built for the everyday shopper. The self-service model was an instant hit. As word spread and more people flocked to Payless, the cousins quickly opened new locations, bringing their radical idea to towns and cities across the country. Payless focused on keeping costs low at every turn. They chose budget-friendly real estate, designed efficient store layouts, and kept decor to a minimum, all to ensure they could offer the lowest prices possible. This simple but powerful idea, let people serve themselves to save money, set the stage for Payless to become a national giant, changing the way Americans shopped for shoes. With this foundation, Payless was poised for decades of growth, transforming from a single store in Kansas to a household name across the country. In the 1970s and 80s, shopping malls became America's new gathering places. For Payless, the mall boom was a golden opportunity. The company moved into malls, securing prime spots and guaranteed foot traffic. The orange sign became a familiar sight, drawing in bargain hunters. Payless's self-service, low-price model fit perfectly with the fast-paced mall environment. The company went public in 1978 and expanded rapidly. By the 1990s, Payless was a retail powerhouse with thousands of locations. Private label brands mimicked expensive styles, offering trendy looks for less. Payless dominated affordable footwear, perfecting its formula of convenience and value. The mall and Payless thrived together, each fueling the other's success. For years it seemed like an unbeatable combination. The empire built on practicality and convenience looked unshakable. The 2000s brought a new kind of shopper, one raised on the internet and global trends. Low prices weren't enough. People wanted style, quality, and a better experience. The no-frills Payless model started to look outdated. Shoppers began to think about value as cost per wear, not just price. Fast fashion brands like H&M and Zara set new standards for style and speed. Retailers like Target and Kohl's made shopping fun and engaging. Payless's rows of boxes and fluorescent lights felt uninspired by comparison. The brand struggled to keep up with changing tastes and expectations. Shoes at Payless were seen as cheap, not just inexpensive. The foundation of Payless's appeal was eroding as customers' priorities shifted. As shopping habits changed, the rise of e-commerce hit brick-and-mortar retailers hard. Online giants like Amazon and Zappos rewrote the rules, offering convenience and free returns. Payless, built on physical stores, was slow to adapt. Its late, clunky website couldn't compete with digital-first rivals. Shoppers could now compare prices and read reviews from their phones, even inside Payless stores. The geographic advantage Payless once had disappeared overnight. Online sellers with lower overhead undercut Payless on price. The company failed to invest in a strong online presence. While others built seamless digital experiences, Payless lagged behind. The digital revolution left Payless stranded in the past. The world had changed, and Payless was left behind. The internet became the new shoe store for millions. Payless faced fierce competition from all sides. The shoe market was transforming rapidly, and Payless found itself surrounded by a growing number of rivals, each eager to claim a piece of the action. The days when Payless could rely on being the go-to destination for affordable footwear were fading fast. Big box stores like Walmart and Target expanded their shoe sections, offering low prices and convenience. These retail giants had the resources to undercut Payless on price, and their one-stop shop model made them irresistible to busy families and bargain hunters alike. Why make a separate trip to Payless when you could buy shoes with your groceries? For many shoppers, the convenience of picking up a new pair of sneakers while grabbing milk and bread was simply too good to pass up. The lines between shoe stores and supermarkets were blurring, and Payless was losing its edge. Target's designer collaborations made its shoe aisle feel stylish and modern. Suddenly shoppers could find trendy limited edition footwear right next to their household essentials. This new approach attracted younger, fashion-conscious customers who might have once overlooked Payless entirely. Off-price retailers like TJ Maxx and Marshalls offered brand-name shoes at deep discounts. These stores turned bargain hunting into a treasure hunt, drawing crowds eager to score deals on brands they recognized and trusted. Shoppers could find Nikes for the same price as Payless's private labels. The appeal of owning a pair of well-known athletic shoes without paying full price was hard to resist. Payless's once unique value proposition was being eroded from every angle. The thrill of a bargain on a known brand beat buying generic. For many, the excitement of discovering a discounted pair of Adidas or Converse far outweighed the draw of Payless's in-house brands. Shopping became an experience, not just a transaction. Payless was squeezed from the middle, no longer the cheapest, most stylish, or best value. Its stores began to feel outdated, and its selection less relevant. The brand struggled to keep up with changing tastes and expectations. Its unique selling point vanished. What once set Payless apart was now available everywhere, often at a lower price or with a more exciting shopping experience. The once dominant aisle was now crowded with bigger, faster, and more appealing competitors. The retail landscape had shifted, and Payless was struggling to find its place among the giants. Payless lost ground on price, style, and convenience. Shoppers who once flocked to its stores now had more choices than ever before, and many simply moved on. The market it once owned was now packed with rivals. Every corner of the mall, every shopping center seemed to offer another alternative to Payless. Payless was no longer king of anything. Its reign as the affordable shoe leader had ended, leaving behind empty aisles and shuttered stores. The competition left little room for Payless to stand out. In a world overflowing with options, Payless faded into the background, a reminder of how quickly retail can change and how unforgiving the crowded aisle of competitors can be. Desperate for a turnaround, Payless tried a bold stunt in 2018. They launched a fake luxury brand, Payless, and opened a pop-up boutique in LA. Fashion influencers praised the shoes, actually standard Payless stock, and paid hundreds for them. When the truth was revealed, the influencers were shocked. The viral campaign sparked a national conversation about branding and value. For a moment, Payless looked clever and relevant. The message, style, and quality can come at any price, but perception is everything. But the buzz didn't last. Customers still found the same old stores, not a chic boutique. The Payless stunt couldn't fix deeper business problems. A viral ad wasn't enough to save Payless. Despite the Payless buzz, Payless was drowning in debt from years of private equity deals. In 2017, it filed for bankruptcy, closing hundreds of stores and shedding millions in debt. Hopes for a turnaround faded as the core problems remained. The retail landscape was more competitive than ever. Payless couldn't modernize or connect with younger shoppers. Less than 2 years later, it filed for bankruptcy again. This time, there was no rescue plan. In 2019, Payless closed all U.S. stores, laying off thousands. A brand that had served American families for over 60 years was gone. The promise that began in Kansas was finally broken. Payless's fall left a void in malls and communities nationwide. The closure of Payless stores in 2019 left a real void for millions of families. For decades, it was a lifeline for affordable shoes, especially in small towns and low-income neighborhoods. Its absence forced shoppers to turn to big-box stores or online deals. Today, Payless exists mostly online and in international markets. In the U.S., its physical presence is a shadow of what it once was. The empty storefronts are reminders of a lost era in retail. Payless's story is a lesson in the dangers of complacency. The company stuck with an old model for too long, missing the shift to digital and changing consumer tastes. In modern retail, price alone isn't enough. Style, quality, and experience matter too. The fall of Payless is a warning: adapt or be left behind. Payless's story is a classic tale of a giant overtaken by change. The brand that once defined value failed to keep up with a new world. The very strengths that built its empire became its downfall. Today, success means more than low prices. It's about connection, experience, and constant reinvention. Payless's legacy is a warning to all businesses: adapt or perish. The rise of e-commerce and shifting consumer expectations are here to stay. From humble beginnings to dramatic collapse, Payless mirrors the story of American retail. Its lessons will echo for years, reminding us that even giants can fall if they stop moving forward.